Hello friends, this is Brad Hollowell. I am doing another beer review. You are on the Pug Weasel channel, and later I'll tell you about my other channel, the Black Guy White Guy Show. But right now I want to introduce the beer I'm going to be reviewing today. It is the Acme California IPA. I'm going to get it zoomed in so you can see the bottle up close. And I'll tell you what, if you'd asked me a year ago if I liked IPAs, I would have told you absolutely not. And they were too hoppy, but my tastes have matured, and I am in kind of a IPA mode. I've kind of been drinking a lot of IPA. And so I've really started to appreciate a very hoppy beer, and this is probably why. I don't drink it a lot, but it's one of those things where you want it every once in a while as a treat. And I discovered it just by, I go to the local, our big liquor store, and every once in a while I want to try something new. And this was one I tried. I didn't have any rhyme or reason. It may be that when I'm there, I'm looking at, the aesthetics of the labeling, and obviously whenever someone who works there, suggests something, I try it out. But that wasn't the case in this particular situation. I think I probably like the label. So again, it's an IPA. It's not one of the heavier hoppy IPAs. It's a nice beer to try if you say like the ales and you want to go with, you want to try an IPA, or maybe if you've tried an IPA before and you thought it was too hoppy and it really didn't interest you, this is an excellent beer to try. It's got a rich golden hue, and it doesn't keep a very thick head as you pour it, and it's not super clear. It's not a very clear beer. It's not clear through. It's a little bit foggy in there. So again, I haven't had one in a very long time. I'm tasting it right here in front of you for the first time in, say, probably over 6 months. You can taste the hops, but they're not overwhelming. You get an aftertaste of some of the caramelized malts, not overwhelming, not that toasty, rich kind of winter flavor that you'd like in the winter, I should say, or that flavor you'd like probably in the winter. This is something you could drink in the summer. This is also something that you would love to have with just about any kind of summer foods. If you were having a cookout, that kind of thing, this is a great beer for that. As I'm talking to you and the aftertaste starts to settle, I'm starting to get some citrusy flavors that I'm noticing. I have not eaten for a few hours, so that does change how quickly I notice some of those citrus fruit flavors in the aftertaste of a beer. But it's just pleasant to drink right out of the refrigerator. It's not super cold. It's not room temperature, obviously, but I know Americans don't appreciate that kind of thing. But I'm definitely remembering why I enjoy this beer so much. And let me just give you the stats from Beer Advocate. They give it an 83, which is in the good range. Alcohol by volume is 6.5%. And I think, again, great summer beer for cookouts, ribs, brats, hamburgers, hot dogs. It's going to be versatile for any number of meals. It's not so overpowering with the hoppiness. It's dry at first, and then when you start getting those citrus aftertaste, in your aftertaste, it gets wetter, and so that makes it very interesting to me. I really like this beer. So I would, in most of my videos, I kind of commented. I've reviewed a great many videos and kind of they were all pretty good transition beers. In other words, if you're used to your domestics and you want to try something a little more interesting, they've all the beers up to now have been something you could try. I actually wouldn't start with this. I wouldn't transition to this. I would go with a regular ale, something of that nature. When you're ready to try something that's a little bit more for the trained palate, for this is more of the acquired taste. If you go from Coors to this, you're not going to like this. But once you've kind of moved to some ales, I think this would be the next place to go. This is a really good beer. You won't leave it. You may try other things. You may get to where your palate or your taste buds are ready for something even more hard, something a little more hoppy, something darker. But you will always want to continue come back to Acme IPA. Just an excellent beer. So, again, I'm Brad Hollowell. This has been a review of the Acme California IPA. This is the Pug Weasel channel. My other channel is the Black Guy White Guy show. It's liberal politics from a Midwestern perspective. We are also pro-Second Amendment. You can find our podcast for that at www.blackguywhiteguy.com. We recently interviewed the Congressman Emanuel Cleaver, so you ought to go check that out. And you have a good night.